Okay, we're good. I'm going to talk about how people are coming to sandbag stations like this. And so if you want to pan in on the bag. Oh, my phone's freaking out.
Why can't you hear me?
It's on speaker, but it's not. It's freaking out because of the rain.
It shouldn't be on speaker because I can hear myself now.
Can you? Okay, I can hear myself. Is that okay? Talk to me. Okay, we're good. Yeah, it doesn't like the rain.
This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
After a very windy day, it looks like things are calming down, at least when it comes to the wind, but a whole lot of rain is moving in. Storm Watch tops Channel 2 News at 6:30. Okay, a flood watch is still in effect for much of the area until tomorrow morning. Good evening, I'm Kristen Remington.
And I'm Landon Miller. Thank you for joining us tonight. And boy, is it really coming down out there right now. We begin with Storm Watch team coverage. Amanda Ketchledge is live in Truckee with a look at how residents are preparing for the possibility of flooding. This kind of rolls out of your mouth.
Absolutely.
Possibility of flooding.
Angela Schilling is live at Windy Hill with how NV Energy responded to some power outages today as well.
But we're going to start with Chief Meteorologist Mike Alger in the Weather Center. Mike, a lot of people are wondering, how long will this rain last?
Yeah, I think we probably got about, well, it's about 6:30 right now. We're probably looking at another 4 or 5 hours of at least intermittent, if not very steady rain. We've already had reports in town here. Jeff Martinez, our morning meteorologist, called me from northwestern part of town here. They've had almost a half an inch. We've had a little over a third of an inch right here at the TV station and over a quarter of an inch at the airport. Now, it's going to be a lot more when you get closer to the mountains, but it's definitely going to be, I think, somewhat of an issue over the next several hours here in terms of how much is going to fall. If you look at watches and warnings right now, the only thing we really have left for us here is this aerial flood advisory that goes until 4 a.m. tomorrow here in Reno. Look at the satellite and radar picture here. You can see it's still a big, steady stream of moisture coming on. We are starting to see the top end of it, though. If you look at the mouse cursor there, you can see it's just starting to go down a little bit further to the south, but there's so much moisture being lifted over there that there is a lot of life left in this thing. And you look at it closer here, we've had some very heavy rain at times. Also notice one thing, the higher elevations here are starting to turn over to mixed and even rain and snow, even down just snow in the higher elevations. So there is a potential high up for some very heavy snowfall amounts. Our Metrocast here for tonight by 10 o'clock, I still expect some rain in the valley. Temperatures are going to be mild, but they're going to cool off quickly. By the morning, at most, maybe an isolated snow shower down to the freezing mark for our low at 7:13 when the sun comes up, and by 3, we'll probably clear out our skies a little bit here. It'll be dry, but it'll be cool, barely in the upper 30s. We'll have more with a complete forecast update coming up here in a bit.
Oh boy, Mike, thank you. And actually, because of all that rain, moderate flooding is expected in Truckee tonight, all the way through tomorrow morning.
And that's where we find Amanda Ketchledge. She joins us now live at the Truckee River, at the fire station rather, up there. And Amanda, there's a chance the water in the river will rise. So how are people preparing?
Well, people are coming to sandbag stations like this at the local fire station, and they're picking up sand. They're putting it in these bags to fill up and take to their homes so they can protect their properties, because, like you said, there's also a very likely possibility that the Truckee River could overflow tonight.
Came to get sandbags. I live at the foot of a hill where this torrential rain floods my garage. And there's a spring creek there, and what I need to do with the sandbags is divert it.
Yeah, you're going to want to have those sandbags ready by tonight, like Phil Newby. He was stocking up and filling up his sandbags to bring to his home. And we have seen several inches of rain coming down just in the last couple of hours. That has the National Weather Service warning everyone about the possibility of streams and creeks, especially overflowing tonight and through the morning. And there's also a possibility that the Truckee River could exceed the flood stage tonight.
It can rise really fast, and we're talking about the rivers rising in the dark, so it's really hard for people to judge flooding in a dark environment.
Yeah, you want to keep that in mind, especially if you're out on the roads tonight, because just 6 inches of water could easily sweep you away, and 2 feet of water could even move your car. So you want to be careful and stay safe, especially through the morning. Covering Storm Watch, Amanda Ketchledge, Channel 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you. Stay safe out there. And it's not only the flooding potential with this storm, but also all that wind we saw earlier today.
And those gusty conditions really caused a number of power outages throughout northern Nevada earlier today. Angela Schilling joins us live in southwest Reno on top of Windy Hill with more on this story. Angela?
Yeah, you know what? It's not quite as windy as it was earlier today. And even compared to an hour ago, the winds have really let up, and now the rain is really starting to pick up too. Now, good news as far as with power outages, look off back in the distance and I'm seeing a lot of lights. So definitely seeing an improvement there. But I'll tell you what, earlier today, the winds were definitely howling. When the wind is strong, a generator can come in handy. Despite their lights being off, Valley Pawn Shop in Sun Valley is open for business. And how fast would you like this to be fixed? What are you hoping for?
An hour ago.
Working around the clock and going from one place to another, it's been a busy 24 hours for NV Energy.
This morning we saw about 3,300 customers without power, but our crews responded quickly and worked very safely to get the power restored.
And the wind gets over 45 miles per hour, it becomes a safety concern, and crews have to rethink their operations. Oftentimes, climbing the pole itself becomes a safer option than getting inside the box.
We have a whole team that is constantly working on these types of outages. They are coordinating with the operations team. We have our team back at the dispatch center.
The time it takes for power to be restored depends on the type of failure. A broken fuse would be a quick fix, but an actual break to the pole, like what happened in Sun Valley this morning, can take much longer.
This one seems to be more weather related, but definitely one of the worst ones.
It's pretty dark inside their store, but the registers are working at least.
It's kind of hard to let people know that we're even open, so we have the printed signs, things like that.
With strong winds overnight, NV Energy is surprised there are not more power outages in the area, which may be due to better infrastructure the past few years. And of course, if you come across some down power lines, you'd want to call 911. Covering the story live at Windy Hill, Angela Schilling, Channel 2 News.
All right, Angela, thank you. And whenever stormy weather impacts northern Nevada, turn to Channel 2 News on the air. We're online as well and on Facebook and Twitter for Storm Watch continuing coverage.
Turning to Crime Beat now, Lyon County deputies say they arrested a man today suspected of murdering his wife back in March. Deputies arrested 27-year-old Dustin Cooper this morning in connection with the shooting death of his wife, 26-year-old Johnny Shadden, back on March 22nd. She was found dead of a gunshot wound in her Mason Valley home. He is charged with first-degree murder and is being held without bail. Reno police have arrested 2 people suspected of stealing Christmas gifts from a family with twins that have special needs. 34-year-old Katie Johnson and her boyfriend, 34-year-old Ryan Sykes, were taken into custody today. Police say they stole the gifts from a vehicle in South Reno. They were arrested after police followed up on a tip from citizens, and a majority of the stolen property has been recovered.
Today, opponents of a development at Squaw Valley filed a lawsuit to stop it, or at least to try to. Sierra Watch argues the development by KSL Capital Partners was illegally approved last month by the Placer County Board of Supervisors because it didn't take into account the environmental impacts the project would have on this area. The development includes building a high-end hotel, condominiums, and cabins to expand the ski resort's capacity to attract more guests. In a statement, Squaw's CEO said they are working with the county to defend the environmental studies done at the project, and went on to say, in part, quote, "This project has been one of the most thoroughly studied projects in the county's history and was reduced by 50% based on community input and feedback collected at over 400 community meetings over 5 years," end quote.
Looking to our community, the Reno Sparks Gospel Mission helped brighten up the holidays for 200 local families today. Volunteers went around town to several low-income neighborhoods as part of what the Gospel Mission calls random acts of kindness.
So what we're doing is we're coming unannounced, coming to individuals' doors, knocking on them, asking if they'd like a turkey and like some food.
It's pretty cool. People were even offered Christmas trees for their homes, and the turkeys were provided by Sierra Meat and Seafood.
We just are happy to be part of the community and contribute in some small way.
The Reno Sparks Gospel Mission hands out food throughout the year, so if you would like to donate, you can call the number on your screen, 323-0386.